In this video, I'm going to share why I decided to buy the 2023 Santa Fe instead of the newly refreshed, super hot 2024 model. Me and my wife just bought a brand new 2023 Santa Fe Calligraphy all-wheel drive, and yes, if you're wondering, dealerships still have the 2023 models on their lots. They're basically just trying to give them away at this point. So if you're someone who's also looking at getting a Santa Fe and you're not too keen on the new refresh, maybe the 2023 model is for you, and I hope you find this video helpful. So we decided to buy the 2023 Santa Fe instead of the 2024 for a few different reasons. Reason number one, it's my wife's new daily driver, and she really just did not like the new 2024 redesign. And reason number two, the price at which they were selling the 2023 models in the calligraphy trim was a deal we could not pass up. Now, if you're not familiar, the calligraphy trim is the highest, most expensive trim Hyundai offers on the Santa Fe, which comes fully loaded with every bell and whistle. And in my opinion, has the best tech of any car on the market in its segment. I'll talk about more on that later. Now, the 2023 Santa Fe Calligraphy goes for $46,000 currently MSRP, brand new. We picked ours up for $40,000. Plus, the dealership threw in a free lifetime powertrain warranty on top of it. How much more sweeter of a deal can you get than that? Now, for comparison, the 2024 calligraphy models are selling for well over $50,000. You heard me right, $50,000 once you add in tax, tag, and title. And that is an extremely hefty price to pay for a car that in less than 5 years is going to be selling for around $35,000 to $40,000, if not significantly less. You can already find very low mileage 2023 calligraphies around the $35,000 price range, and it hasn't even been 2 years yet. So, all that to be said, Hyundai vehicles in general do not hold the value at all, which is really great for used car buyers. And if you're someone who is in love with the new 2024 redesign and you want to get this car in the calligraphy trim, but you don't want to spend $50,000 on it, understandably, honestly, just wait a year, 2 years max. And I am very confident to say that within a year, you could pick up a 2024 calligraphy for the low 40s price range, if not even the like mid to high 30s. And that's just based off the current market conditions of how cheap you can get a used 2023 calligraphy currently. Okay, so let's change gears a little bit and talk now for the interior design of the 2023 Santa Fe, because this interior is one of the things that made us fall in love with this car. Just check out this gorgeous beige interior with these luxuriously quilted seats and this massive panoramic sunroof. One of my favorite features on this car. Oh, and not to mention, most important feature is the suede headliner running across the roof of this car. It just feels absolutely amazing. You want to touch it all day and put your oily fingers and make it look nasty. A lot of people say that it's like not a true suede material. I could honestly give a crap less whether or not it's 100% true suede material or if it's a faux suede. Now, if we compare this to the 2024 Santa Fe, on the calligraphy trim, you do not get the quilted seats, nor do you get the massive sunroof. I don't know why they did away with both of those features because it really does make the Santa Fe feel a step up and more luxurious. However, all that being said, there are a few changes that I do love on the new redesign, such as the updated ambient lighting. I think it looks super cool and definitely 10 times better than in the 2023 year model. The 2023, as you can see, does have ambient lighting right here in this little cubby, which the 2024 does not get that little cubby right there. It's been replaced with like a UV tray. And then on the 2023 year model, you also get, for specific to the calligraphy trim, extended ambient lighting around this console right here, which in my opinion, I don't even know why they added this, because even at night, you can like barely see this when you're sitting in the cabin unless you look down at your leg. Like, I don't know. I think it's dumb. Anyway, some other cool features on the 2024 is the updated steering wheel. Again, the ambient lighting and the new logo, the new minimal logo Hyundai's going with. I think it's really cool. We also test drove the 2024 model back to back with the 2023, and you honestly do not feel like you were driving a Hyundai vehicle. It feels like an entirely different brand of car. It's honestly kind of strange, but kind of cool at the same time. So, that to be said, there are aspects of both cars that I really like, but ultimately, because it is my wife's daily driver, it came down to her preferences. And one thing that she really liked on the 2023 over the 2024 was that you have all of these physical buttons right here in the middle console. It looks super old school. I personally, the more I've driven this car, I really do like having all these buttons right here. It makes the car super easy to use and it's super easy to find everything. Now, in the perfect world, if we could have gotten the 2024 calligraphy for 40 grand, which is what we paid for the 2023, I would have strongly tried to convince my wife to go with the newer model, just because you do get some nice new things like wireless Apple CarPlay, which the 2023 model does not have. It is still wired in that car. And another major difference with the 2024 model is that you get HDA 2.0. That stands for Highway Driving Assist. Essentially, that is Hyundai's Autopilot. I have a Genesis G70 as well, and I use this HDA driving mode in my car all the time. And it just makes driving so much more easy and enjoyable on long trips on the highway or interstate. Now, I did want to add that HDA on this 2023 Santa Fe that we bought has a lot to be desired. It works relatively fine most of the time, but it often struggles to stay between the lines if there is like a 5-degree turn in the road. Even with that minor of a turn, it sometimes goes out of the lane. Not always, but it's extremely inconsistent. And more often than not, you have to be extremely careful using it. Otherwise, you're going to end up sideswiping somebody. Now, like I said, I also own a 2023 Genesis G70, and it has this HDA system as well, and it works significantly better than it does in the Santa Fe. And it's not because my Genesis G70 has HDA 2.0. HDA 2.0 did not come out on the Genesis G70 until the 2024 models, so it is impossible that I have the 2.0 version of it. However, like I said, the HDA on the Santa Fe compared to my Genesis G70 is honestly crap. I like it's a night and day difference between how well the HDA works on my Genesis G70 versus how poorly it works on the Santa Fe. And it might just be an unsaid thing that the luxury Genesis vehicles just get an overall better software. I'm going to make a video later on that in which I compare Hyundai vehicles to the Genesis vehicles to see just how much more luxurious and top notch they are for that extra price tag. So if you want to see that, be sure to subscribe for that later. But moving on from the interior and technology discussion, let's go on and take a look at the exterior design. I'm going to make this very brief. The Santa Fe, it's not an ugly car. It's not eye-catching either. Overall, the design works, and I really have no complaints. I do really love these rims, though, that are exclusive on the calligraphy trim. I think they're super neat. Also, I like the DRL and headlight design. They're pretty neat. But other than that, there's nothing really that pops or is eye-catching about this car. Again, it's a good design, no complaints, it works well. Now, moving back on to the tech in this car, as I mentioned earlier in the video, I do think that the Santa Fe, well, the Hyundai, Kia, Genesis cars in general, they have the best tech and features of any cars in the market. Before deciding on the Santa Fe, we went and test drove all the other competition, and I was not impressed at all with all the other brands' infotainment systems, nor their camera systems. The infotainment system that is in all of the Hyundai, Kia, Genesis vehicles is just so simple to use. It works how you'd expect it to work. Everything is exactly where you expect it to be. And overall, it's just a really great and easy to use interface that just makes sense. And the best part about this infotainment system, if you're trying to find a certain setting, but you have no idea where to look, there's a search button right here. Simply hit the search button, type in what you're looking for, and 9 times out of 10, it's going to take you exactly to what you need. Something else that I personally really love about Hyundai, Kia, Genesis cars is their camera systems. For one, you have these blind spot cameras that pop up in your digital dash. No other manufacturer does this. A lot of them say they don't do it for safety concerns and reasons. However, would have to disagree and say that it's not safe to not have these in your dash. If anything, it makes it safer, in my lowly opinion. But what do I know about car safety and engineering? I'm not an engineer. Beside the point, I think that these cameras are ingenious. But what's an even better feature and camera is this little one right here that allows you to see your wheels as well as your front and rear bumper. It honestly just blows me away that no other manufacturers have a camera system like this in their vehicles. Now, if you have never driven a car with this wheel camera system, you're seriously missing out. And if you ever do buy a Hyundai Kia Genesis car and use this feature, you will never be able to go back to anything else. It is just totally life-changing, and it is so helpful in sticky situations. So going off the tech and features, let's now talk about the drive experience, starting off with the engine. The engine of this car does not disappoint. It has a 0 to 60 of around 6 seconds, which is really, really impressive for its segment. But to put that acceleration into words you can better understand, let me explain it this way. When you give it about half throttle, you can feel the car push you into the back of your seat. It's a turbo 4 cylinder with over 300 pound-feet of torque, and it is a very, very quick engine. And you will have absolutely no complaints when it comes to the performance in this SUV. So going off of that, talking to the gas mileage in the Santa Fe, gas mileage is okay. It's pretty average for its segment, coming in at 24 city, 28 highway. So really nothing super crazy there to complain or brag about. Now let's talk about the ride quality. Road noise inside the cabin is very minimal, and you do not have to shout at each other while cruising at interstate speeds. Additionally, the Santa Fe drives very smooth and it glides across the road. It's not quite on the same level as like a Lexus or something, but it's a very comfortable and very smooth rides, and I have no complaints regarding the ride quality, and I do not think that you would either. So now talking briefly to the practicality of the Santa Fe, one of the reasons we chose it is because of how spacious it is for the rear passengers. As you can see, I got plenty of space back here, but also because of how much trunk space it offers. If you have a family of 4, it's going to be very doable to pack up everyone in this car, shove all your stuff in the back, and go for a road trip because of how large the trunk is. If you do not have rear passengers or little children, you can lay the seats down, which is going to give you more room than you know what to do with. So all around, this is a very practical daily driver and great for the family if you have kids. Alrighty, guys, that is going to wrap up my discussion on the 2023 Santa Fe and some of the reasons why we bought it over the new one. So whether you're someone considering the 2023 model or the 2024, I hope you found this video helpful in some form or fashion. Like I said, it's been a great car for the past 3 weeks that we've owned it, and so far the transmission has not failed, so we're off to a great start. As always, guys, thanks for watching the video, and I will see you next time. Stay glossy, my friends.